Hello and welcome back everyone. I gotta say, when I was doing my initial ships in preparation for this new campaign, I was not expecting an entire expansion to come and drop on my lap there just as I was preparing the race for the campaign. But it is now Season 2 of my Galactic Civilization playthrough, and if you had watched my previous campaign before, I am going to be diving into a brand new campaign with a brand new race of my own creation, with a little bit of help from the internet finding assets and sorts for the art and all that. But we're going to have a few tweaks, is a little bit of a difference. Very subtle difference. But the main big one, as will be made apparent if you paid attention to display picture, we are going to play as a Malevolent race. Last time, I had played what would be known as the Kry'klon Expanse, and I played them as kind of a pragmatic type of civilization. They were kind of to themselves, trading with others as needed, and slowly built up towards what ideally, what I had intended for this race is an influential victory, which is what happened. Now, as my new race, the new contender for Season 2, we have the Eztrak Tribe. Well, I did have a new name for that. I'm going to have to change that later on down the road. I was going to think of Eztrak Dominion, but Eztrak Tribe it is, and this is the race here. I decided to keep the traits kind of lean, kind of like what I did with the Kry'klons, because hell, I did not want to metagame this, which min-max everything to make them as strong as possible for what I have intended for them. No, I just have like very basic negative quirks and then tried to optimize my points towards some things that help with their what I feel is appropriate to the race. Also, I want to make a shout out to Cyrus, who is actually the person who made the art for the race here. He made two separate different arts here that I'm using as both a little profile picture down here and for the main art up here. Everything else is from Galactic Civilization here, so I'm going to put a link to his DeviantArt there if you are interested in his style. This is like about 5 years old. His art style is a lot different, I feel, but if you want to have a look, I'm going to put a link down for everyone who is interested. So a big shout out to him, because I'm going to be giving basically his race life, because he even named him as the Eztrak, which I am going with. And the only twist is I gave them a bit of backstory of my own creation. As you can see here, they were once a peaceful nomadic race. The Eztrak Tribe are a victim of endless war among the world for dominance. Over the centuries, upon being enslaved by the ruthless dictators, the foundation had been laid down so that the Eztrak shall never know freedom again. Mind you, I don't claim to be a good writer. It's just something I felt was appropriate. There's probably a lot of tweaking I'm going to do, but with that said, I'm going to quickly go over the traits. I made them clever as like their base like infrastructure quirk, so that way they can enhance their technology at a reasonable rate, and everything else is kind of enhancing their ship, which is kind of appropriate with what I know of the Eztrak, because they are a lot of like riders. I place them as a nomadic race, so they travel a lot, and that is evident here, using their great cunning and of course intellect, which is where the research bonus came in. So we are going to be doing a playstyle that is malevolent, try to basically go for a conquest victory if it's at all possible, and we're going to do it with like fragile ships that rely on agility and mobility to kind of like get the edge. So this might be a little bit different than like playing the Dragon, which are like brute force, the Kryn, which I guess go for influence type of aggressive influence victory, and who knows what the Yor do, because they had a very weird playstyle in my last campaign. Now, if you remember from my first season, I actually did a huge scale type of galaxy, and the problem with that is it felt really slow paced, but with the new expansion, including 2 new races and a race of my own, this may actually, going with a large scale galaxy, might be a bit more crowded. That is my fear. And I'm a little bit in conflict what kind of galaxy type I'm going to do, so I'm just going to go with random and hope that doesn't screw me over. Also, I'm going to stay true with what I did in Season 1 and make the majority of these things random, so we are left wondering what kind of galaxy we're in, and we have to adapt with what we encounter, because My last season playthrough, I had so much delirium, I still haven't figured out how you pronounce that, but had absolutely no Elerium, no antimatter or anything else for the entire campaign, which was a little odd for me, I gotta say. But it ultimately worked out. Let's see, Galaxy difficulty. I had, for my last campaign, Did Everyone is Gifted, but I'm gonna do a bit of house rules. Whoops. Let me get this back to normal. I kind of messed this up, didn't I? And I lost my train of thought too, damn it. We're going to bring everyone down to normal because I absolutely hate cheating AI that get boosted resources. So what we are going to do, we're going to house rule this to extent to try and keep things entertaining and tense without me risking snowballing right from the very beginning, because everything will be a little bit easier, I feel, in comparison to my last campaign. So I'm going to talk a bit more about that as we get started. Now here's hoping it doesn't crash on me, because trying to prepare this race, I had encountered a couple of crashes when I was building the galaxy with so many players, so fingers crossed. Alright, we are all set up, and this is the only real thing I dislike about when developing the races. For some reason this display picture is really off and I dislike that, but otherwise. Our race here, I already talked about their strengths, their kind of weaknesses there being a little more fragile, trying to be lean on the traits rather than going full out min-maxing them to be full incredible ships of war, compromising everything else that they probably aren't going to use, but this should hopefully be a fun time. And when I get to the point there, I'm going to also upload these to Steam there, much like I did with my Kry'klon Expanse. And also, if you are new to this series, I am planning to develop my own custom ships as well. I already got my scout, the Forerunner. Let's see, I have a colony ship, the Migrator, which is not very impressive, I will admit. And we also have the Workhorse, my Constructor, which, if you saw my prologue videos, I did tweak it a little bit to add a little bit extra bulk. So what that means is the regular scout is gone, the regular Constructor is gone, and the regular colony ship is gone. We are going all original ships. Here is hoping. And I'm also, at least the concept, the ship design style is actually of the pirate ships. So I'm going to be stuck with a single survey ship and a scout for the time being, but I think that lays down everything I need to. The only thing I haven't discussed was the house rules I'm going with. First off, I basically snowballed my campaign by basically going, well, at least against the Assailants, who were my first opponent that I fought against, I basically countered what their ship designs were, which was all missile defense, missile weaponry. So I essentially countered them by having my warships all resistant to Assailant ships, and that's how I basically snowballed. I am not doing that anymore. It is either I'm going to have a armor type of each on the ship, or I'm going to have none of them. I'm going to try and keep this on equal ground to an extent and rely on the traits to give me the advantage. It's going to be a bit hard to explain as I go through this, but I will tell you the other ones as we do. And what do we have? Also, I did pick the starting location as a single habitable world in my system, so I only have one great big class 16 plane here. So we got a lot of slots to choose from, but we have no moon or neighboring planet that's habitable, so we're gonna have to find a new habitable world. So what do we have? We have we have precious metals, which would be good for research terraforming. We have an amazing research crystals here, which sounds promising. It's mineral rich. I almost wonder why that isn't like meant for production. And we have something for influence, which would be useful later on down the road, but we'll start with the research here because that's our strength, and we'll start exploring around. Also, yeah, seeing as this is a new expansion, there's new settings I haven't really got to experience yet, but apparently we have mercenaries as well. Oh boy. I know I said I was going to pick a large-scale map, but this looks like it's going to be so cutthroat for me, which might actually be a good thing and might actually be a bad thing. It actually remains to be seen. So now we're going to pick our first, research here. Which of course might be industrial adaptation to kind of enhance my infrastructure. Because I'm going to have such a massive world and I have no idea where the nearest plant's going to be. And shipyards idle. I would love to get more scouts. Because one of the traits is they have a slight adventurous bonus and of course they got really damn good mobility. So they're going to be really good at scouting these regions. And it's very likely I'm going to run into 2 or 3 races pretty quickly too. So I got to be ready and prepared for that. War might start off in the first 20-30 turns. If I am so lucky, or potentially unlucky, it remains to be seen. But yeah, everything's going to be basic and simple for the time being. We're going to just explore around what we have. Hopefully, we can get some wealth to exploit. And I'm an idiot. I ignored these capsules and ship graveyard, which kind of is okay with. I'm kind of okay with it for the reason, like I stated, there's going to be several factions around here and I want to try and grab any further reaching resources before they do. Potentially. Especially grab these worlds because there's going to be a very tense fight, I think, to grab these plants. I kind of was hoping for a little more plants. Maybe that is part of the consequence of the random setting. Because we got another class 10 plants, which means I can cheat a little bit. And do I want to get... Let me rush another migrator. Because I think I can afford... Yep. And I'll have another one going. Actually, let me cancel this one here. Rush that one to take this plant up here, ideally. And we'll keep on moving. Yep, there's what I was talking about. We already counted the Stalins. And the Iridians, maybe? I'm assuming they're Iridians, and I'm going to go with like half the population, I think, for here. So that way I can claim the planet up here, but it doesn't hurt my homeworld too terribly much. That's the hope. Sorry, Salins. I made it here first. And this is kind of what I'm worried about, because I might start snowballing being so aggressive grabbing these plants. I'm going to have a massive advantage right from the beginning. Nonetheless, we got bonuses here, so let's see. So we have the option of increasing research for manufacturing. We got pragmatic. To be honest, I don't really care about this malevolent bonus. 20% defensive bonus seems so poor. I kind of just want to go pragmatic for the research bonus, if I were to be perfectly honest. This is not the ideal start I would like, but I am going to be focused on Malevolent. The defensive bonus is not really worth it. I dislike that. I'm going for the research. Hopefully, there's something I can use the pragmatic trait for. Hopefully. That's one of the minor things I dislike about this. What do we have? We do have caverns for a massive military bonus. Ooh, I think I know where I might put my Hyperion stuff. Later on down the road. We're going to put a research lab there. Everything's going to have to start growing. And this is the Iconians, yeah. And we have our pragmatic point, which I'm not really fond of. So, I can get construction vessels, I can get trade. Let me at least benefit from a constructor. Because there's nothing else I want that seems useful. And then we're going to put these to kind of secure my region over here some. Oh, what? Did we actually find a bazaar accidentally? Okay, I guess we found a bazaar. Now this is new to me. Well, I have already a rough idea how it works, I just don't know what options are available to me. All I do know is a lot of them require Illyrium and other resources, and some are just basic. Ooh, this sounds promising. 100 credits per anomaly surveyed. That can make use of what I haven't bothered to scan. This is a long-range scout ship. And what has weapons I think is important. Probably the Jensgard. I think I'd rather that, and I have the money for it hopefully. Yep, my current treasury is more than enough and nothing else is available. Unless I want to spend it all on a construction ship, which sounds poor. Not to mention it costs us duranium. So let's hire this one, get some credits off it. And this is one of the new mechanics I'm interested in. And let's see. I don't know what counts as an anomaly, but I'm going to check the ship graveyard. This has the health and firepower to defend itself. And construction ships are going to be on the move. It should be able to take them, right? Yeah, it's just 2 tiny ships. I don't need to watch this battle. It's going to take a little damage, but it should be okay. Yep, first anomaly surveyed. Got a defender, treasury from that, so it's a good start. I just hate that I'm getting these ship designs I don't want, but hell, it's a scavenged ship. I can roleplay that, right? If only a little bit. And now I gotta try and capture this plane here before someone else does, and I think we're already off to a really damn good start, potentially. Although the Iconians and Assailants may have issue with me later on down the road. So I gotta be concerned about that. Nonetheless, I'm gonna see what I can find here. I have access to a bazaar now if I really do need the extra ship, so I don't know if I should be excited or upset at the fact that this campaign might go a lot quicker than my last one. Because I went to 120 episodes with the Kry'klon Expanse, so this being a lot smaller, congested, and probably is going to be dictated by the first 100 turns, depending how things go with the Assailants and Iconians, I might be in a lot of trouble. Or it might, what am I saying? I mean, it's going to be more incredibly in my favor of just straight up winning, because I got the largest region. So we're going to try and do this in a way that I just don't obliterate them in the first 50 or so turns, and try to make this entertaining. Because hell, there are plenty of other channels that are already doing this kind of stuff, just to destroy everything. We're going to try and aim for a little more, making this tense and actually have some longevity to it. Because I would like to enjoy my time with the Eztrak if I can. And now that research done, I want specialization, which probably is going to be the research specialization maybe. Unless something else is faster, like the terraforming. But I don't need that anytime soon either. Oh, never mind, that gives me farms, which might be ideal. We'll start with that and then work towards our weaponry of war when I feel it's time. And okay, that's a neutral race there. The AR, I don't know who they are. And what's this bazaar? Why am I seeing... Oh, did that mean they put a new ship there? Or it's just because I have one owned? Because I'm seeing the icon up there telling me that there's something to look at. From what I can tell anyway. So this is going to be a bit of a learning experience. And I can have my constructor probably position itself to grab this approval relic. Hopefully. That would be kind of nice, but I need to research the precursor archives or whatever the hell these things are called. It's been so long since I researched one of those things to tap into these relics. And now, yeah, like I said, it's really congested, so this is going to be interesting. We're already in the thick of it, you could argue. And with me claiming Crux 3, I don't think they're going to be very happy with me as far as the relations. Opposing ideals, same ideals, but that's because I'm, yeah, pragmatic. So that is kind of working in my favor for a little bit, isn't it? Although, we know the true intentions of this campaign, don't we? They're going to be in for a big surprise. And because my constructors have such incredible speed, that's also part of the reason why I think I'm catching these plants. Especially since this world is so much closer to theirs. It is kind of sad for them. But we got more treasury. So already The Esgar is paying for itself incredibly quickly. I just gotta find more anomalies, which means I should go to the left. So we have both the new races within our facilities. I can't remember their names. What are they? The Archeans and Archean Empire and the Taurian regime. So those are the two new races. I'm excited to see what they are capable of. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep scanning around, find some resources to exploit, if at all possible. And also grab this approval relic, because why not? Now, do I want to get as close as possible to kind of like give them a difficult time putting a constructor there? Actually, I could just put another starbase to kind of squander efforts. So I'll put one starbase up here to kind of like bury here, and then I could put another starbase conveniently near this planet I'm going to colonize, and it should be impossible for them to grab this approval relic. That's my first devious scheme I'm going to do. And also, I need to try and grab the thulium, and the thulium that's in my territory, which I have been completely neglecting, haven't I? Not like I think there's much that I can use the thulium for just yet, so unless, yeah, there's a thulium data archive I can get, but I don't have the research for that just yet. And I don't think any of these races is going to have a lot of plans. I'm seeing a lot of colony ships that are not doing much. Also, new event, new world. Now this is what I'm looking at for. Plus 50 economy, but minus 50% population growth. This is a little more beneficial, but in all seriousness, 50% population growth. Well, it's the growth, technically, right? It's not the actual population cap. In exchange for 50 economy, that sounds a lot more beneficial. Pragmatic is a little more in favor balance-wise. I gotta say though, Malevolent is not as encouraging as Pragmatic, but I don't want to go that route. At least this one has a worthwhile bonus for me. Ooh, and a resource that increases my ship range, which is perfect for what I'm trying to do for the beginning of this campaign. So, what resources we have? Increase to wealth and influence. And this one's influence in tourism, so nothing very fancy, nothing specific here. And this is, interestingly, boost military. That I can live with. Nothing that I can benefit with production though, or anything else. So, and that was influence. I don't care about influence, but I'm gonna have the wealth there at some point. Actually, what am I doing? I get a 50% wealth bonus, so I want to get rid of this. Actually, I'm gonna put it somewhere else. So that way I can use that region all for my wealth income. Next up. Well, this constructor is out in the middle of nowhere. I probably should grab the thulium, but I can also use it to scout a region a little bit there. And then start laying claim to my territory. Do I start now? I probably should start right here. Their first start base is established. This one, there's no reason to put it close, aside for maybe just enhancing infrastructure here some, because it is a high class world. Huh, that is an interesting starbase. I guess it's true to how the pirates function. So we got a military ring, we got an economic ring. I don't think I need military ring just yet. What does starbase range mean? I suppose that it affects its influence reach. Unless it's in combat range, I'm not sure. So we're going to do the economic one, and what? These are some new stuff I'm not aware of. Oh, this is probably because of the production economic ring. Because they have changed this up a bit, because for my last campaign, I don't even think I had access to the economic ring right from the very beginning, so I had to research that, so this is interesting. It is going to enhance Crux 3 a little bit in their production, especially as they get started. I'm going to have another starbase up here, and then I have one down here that I would love to give it sensor reach, but I don't know what other kind of ring it's going to give me. I am curious about the military ring, so let's put that to use. And I'll leave that extra slot available maybe, if it'll let me. I'm just curious, because this would actually be the first military base I would use. I don't know what +4 range is supposed to mean. Because really, the only actual gameplay... Oh, I guess it just gives me military reach. That's for like enhancements, I guess. Oh wait, that's the control range. That's what it is. And because it's a military ring, I can't use like other rings, like a culture ring, to kind of like cheat the system a little bit and like enhance influence or production even further here. Arguably, I should have put that closer to the crux. That may have been my first misplay. But I'm very confident with how close everything is, I'm going to just demolish them anyway. So I'm not that concerned. And with me is basically as close as I'm going to get. Can I move one more? I can move 2 more hexes over. So, like I said, I'm going to try and cheat the system a little bit and make sure it's very difficult for him to get this approval relic. Ideally. Oh, I can actually get it right away. That's another news thing I wasn't aware of, I don't think. Either that or I'm an idiot. And I have a mine ring. What can I mine? I don't know what the hell I can mine because I don't see it. I'm gonna blindly trust the mine ring to see if I get some free resources. Because that's not possibly gonna go wrong, right? So there's nothing up here, that's all I know. And Jensgar, you're gonna start going left over in this nether region. There's probably nothing over there.